Hey man.
Derek Tonn,
Yes, how you doing?
are you course collecting right now?
I am course collecting in Olathe, Kansas.
Okay, cool. Well, could we tag along?
If you want to, sure.
Okay, wow.
You can keep up.
Yeah, you're really fast. Is this, wow.
All right, off we go. Try not to grip lock and TKO you here. My name's Derek Tonn. I'm from Springfield, Minnesota. I've been on DGA's ambassador team since 2018, and I love disc golf. Disc golf changed my life for the better. I've been playing since 1978. I've been designing courses across Minnesota, Wisconsin, South Dakota for several years, but one of my favorite things I do is I design tee signage for DGA, trying to make courses not only look better, but convey more effective information to share with the people who are enjoying playing those courses. I was diagnosed with epilepsy in 2019 by Mayo Clinic, and Mayo wanted to put me on 4 different medications. One med to stop the seizures from happening, and thankfully I haven't had any seizures since September of 2019. But Mayo also wanted to put me on 3 other medications in addition to the medication to stop me from having seizures. I didn't want to be a person taking 4 meds twice a day, so I basically begged them. I said, what else can I do to not be stuck on meds like this for the rest of my life? And they said, exercise. Like, not just go for a casual walk and have a little fun, like 5 miles plus a day, everyday walk. No skipping because I don't feel like it, no skipping for bad weather. Snow, I'm out every day getting at least 5 miles a day, and this kind of activity really reinforces that. Love the Squall, by the way. If you want 2 of the best DGA discs, Proline Squall, Proline Undertow. The best discs, especially as a left-handed player, absolute money. I love those discs, and I always tease that I could probably have no more than those 2 discs in my hand about 90% of the courses I play, and do just fine. As a lefty, the thing I love about the Undertow is it's so versatile. I can put it on an Anheuser line, I can put it on a gentle Heiser line, but the real power of that disc for me is the S-curve. 93% of the planet is right-handed, so you get a lot of people who design holes that that best match their own games, and if you're a righty backhanded thrower, you like to design a lot of right to left. So I have to have a disc in my bag that can handle that right to left turn or an S-curve to kind of navigate in some of those tunnels. Most of the times I've played a course, I've never played it before. So it's almost like a Where's Waldo or a bit of a treasure hunt, like figuring out how is this thing laid out. And signage, obviously, good signage makes that a lot easier than just having to go to a property and guess. Missed it right. Not too bad. I have been making signs for DGA since I believe 2012. We really got into it in 2013. 8 years later, we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of courses all over North America, and I think even one over in Germany. See if we can run one out there. Straight, not very long, but straight. Undertow. Money. Related to course collecting, this is the Washington Elementary here in Olathe, Kansas. This is the 1,770th course that I've played. I've played in all 50 states. I always credit Chuck Kennedy and Matt Syme, 2 Minnesotans, for kind of giving me the idea to get into this, because I always thought that if you're going to be a disc golfer, basically you're going to compete at tournaments or leagues once you've graduated up from just being a recreational player. I never realized that you could do something like course collecting until those guys. I think at the time Chuck Kennedy had over 630 courses played, and Matt Syme was probably around 12, 13, 1400, and I'm like, wow, you guys are my heroes. Like, if I ever could play anywhere close to how many courses you guys have played, I would be the luckiest guy in the world. So then around 2009, another Minnesotan, Brian Gustafson, great guy from Owatonna, he encouraged me to basically record every round I played, and I kind of used that along with Chuck and Matt as kind of a catalyst to say, yeah, I'm going to try this course collecting, and every time I take a trip anywhere for work, go anywhere with my family, I'm just going to bring my discs along and I'm going to play. And I got to 100 courses, and I got to 250, then I got to 300, 400, and all of a sudden I was at 500, and I'm like, I can do this. Like, this is fun. You know, and every time you get a little more, you get a little higher, you want to say, okay, I got to 500. Now I want to get to 600. You get to 600, you want to get to 700, you want to keep going. And kind of the thing that every course collector reaches for is 1,000 courses played. I think there's been less than, don't hold me to this, but I think there's been less than 20 players in the history of the sport who've gotten over 1,000 courses played. And then some of us, we get to 1,000 and we're like, I don't want to stop. Let's keep going. And then a few of us, you know, you get to 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, you're like, you start having that thought, and you're like, could I get to 2,000? I don't know. Nobody's done it, although now there has been a person who has done it. Mike Erickson, I believe is his name, out of Minnesota, and one of my friends in Ohio, Dan Kilgore, is within about 4 courses of hitting 2,000. They will be the first 2 players in the history of the sport to ever get to 2,000 courses played. My heroes. It's so hard to do. So right now, if I can keep going, health, money, bank balance, you know, all of that willing, I am on pace to probably become either the 3rd or the 4th player in the history of the sport of disc golf to get to 2,000 courses played. Sometime, I hope, in the fall of 2022. But a lot has to go right for that to happen. See if I can get one close. Down. See, that's what I get when I run the baskets, is then I got to work for that par. This weekend, I actually left Minnesota hoping I would get to at least 40 courses played by the time I get back to Minnesota on Friday. Today is Monday morning, and this is course number 29 on the weekend. So if the weather holds and we don't get lots of thunder and lightning, I should exceed that goal of 40 for the week. There's course number 29 on the weekend, or on the week, done. One of the cool things about course collecting is I also design courses for communities. I've designed 11 courses to date, and seeing all the different designs all around North America primarily gives me a lot of great information to use from what other designers have seen with a piece of land. One of the advantages of being a course collector is I've seen over 20,000 different hole designs, and it's taught me so many lessons as far as kind of ways to look at a piece of property, ways to kind of try and see things not as a left-handed backhand player, but seeing things from being a right-hand forehand or a right-hand backhand player who's just kind of learning, all the way to some of the top players in the world, kind of seeing how they would design holes, how they would approach holes, what they can achieve on a hole design. What I also love about this as well with course collecting is it ties in so well with DGA's mission, what it's been from the very beginning. Steady Ed always said, you know, the player that has the most fun wins. And for me, course collecting is a joy. I absolutely love it, and so many other course collectors out there, it's an absolute joy. Not just the playing of courses, but all the great people you meet along the way, all the cool things you see along the way, like playing in the Alaskan rainforest, playing, you know, it's just crazy all the things you get to see when you're on kind of this adventure of course collecting. And I could just envision Steady Ed kind of smiling. He's like, yeah, you go get them. You know, because that's kind of what it's about. It's not about kind of how much money I win at tournaments or kind of what I place or what my rating is. It's about having fun. One of the other cool things I get to do with DGA is design all of their T-sign products. They make 4 different size T-signs, 5 by 10 inch, 8 by 11 inch, 9 by 12 inch, and 12 by 18 inch. Trying to help courses have better information, not only to kind of reinforce their brand, make them look a little more beautiful, but to also really help players and other park users learn more about what this is and kind of how you would approach and play these holes if you were to enjoy this course. So I'm never going to be a 1,000 rated player who's winning all kinds of tournaments, but this is a way I can leave my mark, and a way a DGA can leave their mark in the sport by making hundreds of courses better, and I love that. We do course signage as well, but T-signs is kind of one of the main products that we've been offering together for about 8 years now. Basically, if anyone else out there is interested in working with DGA to have us design great T-sign sets for your course, feel free to reach out to info@discgolf.com, and one of the great staff out in California will get in touch with you and talk to you about how we can make that happen. You just drop it within 10 feet and then you don't even have to sweat it.